The United States has many issues, some that are worse than others and some that are ignored. One issue that is being ignored is animals being used as entertainment. As humans, we have choices. We aren't forced to be put in front of other people and perform. Why don't animals have the same choice? Why do people just assume it's better for the animals to be held in captivity rather than the wild? Why do animals have to suffer in order for our entertainment? It's because all the trainers and workers care about is money. They don't care if the animals are hurt in the process as long as they have money for themselves. People want to believe that it isn't bad for these animals, that in fact it's better for them not to live in the wild. They want to believe that they are helping the animals, that they will live much longer with them compared to as in the wild, which isn't true. According to ABC News, a study done shows that animals in captivity live a fourth of the time compared to the animals in the wild. Animals aren't actors. They aren't creatures that you can starve just to force them to do exactly as you say. Animals are living things, not much different than us. The definition of an animal is an inhumane person, a mammal. Since they're an inhumane person, people may think that the animals don't have feelings or compassion. But if you've ever owned an animal in your life, you know that isn't true. As stated in the Huffington Post, Dr. Arthur Sanantoins said in a written statement, quote, "Science tells that the animals can have cognitive faculties that are superior to human beings," end quote. And as said in the same article, quote, "Some animals are smarter than humans," end quote. This proves that animals aren't really that different from humans, so why should we be using them as entertainment? Apes, whales, elephants, tigers, dogs, and so many more animals are used as entertainment for people. They are taken away from their family and home at a young age and trained so when they get older they can perform. These animals are put in cages, small spaces, and chained up by the feet when they aren't performing. They are sometimes beaten or not fed if they perform incorrectly or misbehave. As humans, we mess up all the time. We are rude and we are not perfect. We can't hold higher standards to these innocent animals. When you mess up, are you beaten or starved? Most people aren't, so why are these animals? Everyone takes part in a killing of these animals and they don't even realize it. I know that when I was younger, I would go and watch the dolphins at Six Flags or the orcas at SeaWorld. But now I realize how sad it really is. Now I realize the trainers and workers aren't doing it for the animals, but for themselves. If you have ever seen a show that involves animals, you paid and supported the people doing these awful things to these animals. If you were to simply look at the animals, you can tell it isn't good for their health. But people choose to ignore it because they would never want to think they had to partake in killing an animal. For example, if you were to go to SeaWorld, you would see that the fins on the back of the whales are flopped over to the side, which isn't healthy, and other animals have scars on them from being forced to fight other animals, like dog fights. I'm not saying that everyone who is involved in training these animals is a bad person or intentionally trying to kill these animals. They just choose to ignore the fact that it isn't the best for the animals to be doing all of this. Circuses are another example of how horrible it is for the animals. People go to circuses with their kids for the acrobats, balancing seals, elephants, and the tigers jumping through hoops lined with fire. But what they don't realize is that the animals were just shoved in crates and brought from circus to circus. As said in the source Circuses, written by PETA, a circus animal's whole life is traveling in tight spaces and doing a show almost every day. All animals involved in the circus are forced to perform confusing acts or else they don't want to get fed or punished. It isn't just circus animals that have bad living spaces. Most animals that are involved in entertainment are held in tight spaces stuck with the other animals in cages or chained up by the feet. Another issue is animal racing because the animals are in fear of being harmed or whipped unless they run. Harm should never be used towards animals, especially if all they are doing is not jumping through a hoop correctly or not listening to the trainer's command because they are tired, hurt, or just simply don't want to do it for again and again. This issue of animals being used as entertainment needs to stop. Animals get injured, worn out, and can even die when being in the entertainment business. They need to get better living conditions, need to be treated better, or just need to stop being used as entertainment altogether. One way this issue can be solved altogether is for a law to pass that it is illegal for animals to be held captive for the use of entertainment or money. There is a very simple and easy way to stopping animal entertainment for good, so why don't we?